Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy BearBXB, and welcome to a series I like to call Road to Glory! Why generators? Have you seen the combos this deck can do? Yo, do not sleep on this deck. This deck has some of the craziest combos that you have never seen. Are you ready?
Aye, aye, Captain!
Are you ready?
Aye, aye, Captain!
Alright, let me show you. Oh, did you think that was good? Well, you ain't seen nothing yet. Combo numero dos. Alright, but in actuality, the entire concept of just activating your field spell and getting 5 monsters on board is just really cool to me. I think it's a really cool concept. It's original. It's something we really haven't seen before. The other thing is, I love boss monsters. And this is literally what the entire deck is comprised of. The entire deck is literally boss monsters. All you want to do every single turn is summon a boss monster. And with cards like World Legacy Monstrosity, you just have ways to turbo out crazy cards like True King of All Calamities. And with the release of Ignition Assault, we got a level 9 trade-in. We got another boss monster. And we also got a new Xyz monster called 9 Lives Cat, which is a card that I think is really underrated. Needless to say, I'm just really excited to start digging into this deck and theory crafting ways on trying to make it competitively viable. So this past weekend, my locals had a 3v3 tournament where we ended up taking our very first prototype of deck to see how it would do. And you know what? It was interesting. It wasn't the best, but it also wasn't the worst. Well, it was it was kind of bad. So what happened was in the very first round we had a bye, which I mean, what are the odds in a 3v3 tournament? Second round, the player I played against was playing trains. So yeah, in the second round, the player I was playing against, he was playing trains. So from what I recall, game 1, I'm pretty sure I got absolutely slaughtered. As for game 2, I remember opening up access to a boss stage, which is the field spell of the deck, and I remember bringing out Utgard. And then I'm pretty sure from there I just kept generating enough advantage to the point where I was able to make VFD, and he just wasn't able to make his rank 10 plays. And then it was game 3. Game 3, I remember opening what I thought was the absolute nuts. I had summon limit. I'm pretty sure at one point I had 3 of my bosses on field, and I think this was like turn 1 or turn 2. and he managed to play through absolutely everything. He had the Twin Twisters, he had the Cyclone, he just had absolutely every single out to my board, and it was crazy, and it was a really fun game. And you know what? I didn't take the loss too badly because we did end up going to game 3, and our opponent ended up needing like the perfect combination of cards in his hand in order to play through our field. All in all, it was a really fun game against a really nice player, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. In the following round, in round 3, we played against one of our friends, Daniel. Daniel is well known for piloting Altergeist, and that's exactly what he was playing today. So game 1, I don't know what happened. I vividly remember I opened Ash in hand and I opened evenly, and for whatever reason, I decided to pass turn instead of activating evenly, and in the end phase, he ended up activating Personal Spoofing to shuffle back an Altergeist card and go into Multi-Faker, and then from there, he just generated too much advantage, and it was just way too late for me to make a comeback in the game. Going into game 2, I'm pretty sure I took Daniel off guard, because this time I was actually able to get access to boss stage, and I was actually able to show him the potential that this deck has. Needless to say, after a bit of a grind, I ended up taking game 2. Going into game 3 was really weird because I feel like we both opened suboptimally. I also sided kind of weird because there were some things I wanted to try out. For example, I ended up siding a Sphere Mode, just a single copy of it, just in case at any point of the game he generated too much advantage for me to overcome. Because the thing is, if an Altergeist player has Hextia on board, alongside any Altergeist monster under it with stuff like Manifestation and Protocol, you're gonna have a really hard time trying to out that board. And the best possible out to that board is just summoning over all 3 of their monsters. So I just wanted to see how that would possibly work out just in case the scenario came up. The other downside is we were also running really short on time. So unfortunately, I did end up losing in time. Had the game progressed, I'm not 100% sure how it would have played out. It honestly could have gone either way. But just considering the fact that it came down to game 3, and it did feel like a really close game, I'm actually really happy with how the deck performed. Now, going into round 4, I was ecstatic to have another shot to maybe end the day with a win. Unfortunately, our opponents didn't feel like playing. They went to A&W, grabbed some burgers and fries, and they just said, yeah, you guys can take the win. So that's how we ended the day. Unfortunately, we didn't actually end up winning any matches. We only played 2 out of 4 matches because we got a bye and our final opponents didn't want to play. But yeah, anyways, so if you guys are interested in seeing the deck profile for my first prototype of the deck, make sure you subscribe because I'm going to be uploading it sometime this week. I think the build I was running was a good starting base for the deck, and even though we only ended up playing 2 games, I actually realized a lot of things of cards that I should take out, cards that I should play more of, or even cards that I should consider playing, whether in the main deck, side deck, or extra deck. So overall, while I can't necessarily call the tournament anything close to a success, it was a good learning experience, and I'm definitely going to improve the deck going forward. I really want to show you guys how the deck works in real life. So what I'm going to do, for episode 3, I'm going to bring my camera to locals, and I'm going to record one of my matches against one of my opponents, and I'm going to try to do commentary over it. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you tune in for episode 3. That just about wraps up episode 2 of Rogue to Glory. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment, and make sure you hit the subscribe button if you want to join me on my Rogue to Glory.